So Canada kick off their first match here at Rugby World Cup 2011, second for Tonga. And it's going to be tough going for the Tongans in the first half, pushing into that win, but here's a good start for them with a penalty. And let's go to the sideline and get a word on the conditions. Former All Black Matthew Cooper.
Well, thank you, Tony. It's an outstanding atmosphere. We know that. Strong wind, and also the sun's coming out too. So Tonga won the toss, and they've decided to go into it, but they've also got to face the sun as well. So this is a big challenge for the Tongans. Ikalitahi in the first 40 minutes.
Kurt Morath from fullback puts the ball into touch up towards halfway where Steve Walsh has the flag up. Set piece, crucial. Canadians will look to get primary possession, but Canada, well, pushing into that wind. Tonga going to have the ball blown back on their side. Lua Lokotui with the first line-out win. Here's the first touch for Tani Alamoa. He swings it wide. It's a loose pass. And Kurt Morath it is, who cleans up just out from his own 22. Maka takes it forward. Now Palu to Moa. Well, he'll use his passing game to effect it. Here's Sami Vahapalau. Offloads away to his hooker, Talkafa. Well, 11 changes to this Tongan side, but no change in the way they're going to play the game. And Canada are going to have to make a lot of tackles. And here's a good strong run from Fatafihi. Former winger now playing in midfield for Tonga. And they're making good progress. More runs, turns it back to Helu. Kleberger going in, trying to win it for Canada, but this is a good start from Tonga. Canadians have not yet had their hands on the ball.
Number 2.
Thomas Palu ready to clear. I just rolled it along the ground
Roll out 5.
where Tamani gathers it. Maka trying to bust through the middle. Tonga will making Canada make a lot of tackles. Canadians, though, holding their ground.
7.
Here's Tamani, driven back in the tackle. Palu to Moore, pulls down a high one. Again swings it wide. Vanikolo. Man who's thrilled the crowds here in Northland for a couple of seasons. Moore. Now Talkafa. A prolonged attack here from Tonga. Again, Moore gets it wide. It's Helu. Hearn making the tackle on the right wing for Canada. Now they're inside the 22. Vahafalau to Palu. And now it's Canada's turn to come in with a big hit. Jamie Cudmore that time. But Moore has it once more. Yet another big pass to Vanikolo. Bumps off the first and the second. But he's lost it forward. Well, good prolonged attack from Tonga. But in the end, a little mistake there from Fetu Vanikolo.
An excellent start from Tonga, 15 phases. It's a good way to get every single player into the game, whether they're either touching the ball or smacking into a breakdown. This is just the finish of it. We saw lots of very long cutout passes from Moa. In fact, that was earlier in the piece. This is the finish. Vanikolo, look how powerful and strong he is. As he goes into contact there, he just slightly spills it forward. But good defence from Pritchard and the Canadian side to hold out that stronger Tongan attack.
Well, it's going to be Ed Fairhurst to feed the scrum for Canada. Tonga scrummed very well against the All Blacks, particularly in the second half at Eden Park.
Pause. Engage.
Against Sona Tamalolo, this charismatic loose forward prop, or loose head prop, I should say, who scored the try against New Zealand at Eden Park.
Yeah, it's on their side there. He just drops his bind, which he are unable to do. Forces his hand onto the ground from the pressure from Marshall, which was a very good start in the front row there from the Canadians, who will be put under pressure in that department.
Kleberger comes forward. And this is something that Canada are pretty good at. Those of us who can remember the tournament in New Zealand in 1987 know that they had an excellent line-out drive back then. Now a high kick down to Vani Kolo. Takes it well. Calls for the mark.
There you are, on me. Push back, push back.
Putting the kick downfield into that wind.
That's a win.
Well, it just shows you, doesn't it, the value of this wind. And when that sun breaks through the cloud, that's a double trouble for the back three of Tonga. But Vainikolo did very, very well there in that first up and under.
It's still a very strong wind, but I can tell you it's not as strong as it was earlier on in the day.
You step. You step. Thank you. Hold two.
Here's Milton throwing towards the front. And Phil McKenzie, the left winger. Fairhurst. Now Monroe. So they'll just build and try and build with patience. Here's Jeb Sinclair, the lock forward. Well, maybe a chance to get it wide. McKenzie moving on quickly to Kleberger. Gets it wide to O'Toole. Open side flanker. So now Canada's turn to have a go. Pritchard, the fullback. The squeeze ball back to Fairhurst. Now Monroe puts it high. Awkward, Vainikolo, and they both lost it in the wind there, but Morath has it. It was Hugh Biden's the prop giving chase. Now Vainikolo has to scramble it away into touch. And in fact, it was a little knock on from the Canadians, but again, just showing the difficulty that they're going to have in the wind. That was a very good high kick.
It certainly was, and it was tactically very clever as well from Canada. When you're playing with the wind out there, for people out there, it can be sometimes more difficult because the ball actually drifts away from you with the pass, and you tend to tactically kick it away more, looking for field position. Players don't get into the game. There, they actually used the ball, used it until they got to the point where they needed to kick, and from there, they had the opportunity to turn the ball into attack from a very good kick. Now, I can't understand why this is Tongan ball. How on earth, there was no Canadian players near it.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Not a bad hit in from the Canadians, but Palu can see it. And Tania Lamore, well, runs, but then passes rather untidily. Helu's been wrapped up. Whakawhihi gets his hands on the ball, but he's not going anywhere.
Push back on sides. 30, 12.
Well, Canada now up against their own goal line, or rather Tonga up against their own goal line. Tamalolo went to pick that up. He didn't lose it forward, but he lost it. And now the Canadians have it. Kleberger's got it in the middle of all that. So they can have a real crack at them now. It's Biden's getting over the ball here, and away he goes with Kleberger to help him out. Jonathan Kaplan says unplayable. Well, they did well in the early stages, Canada, as Tonga attacked. Now they're getting an opportunity of their own.
Yeah, they certainly are. Here goes the kick. You can see it lands in space there. How can they say that's a knock-on from Canada?
Well,
possibly it came off Biden's arm, but this is the turnover that they managed to generate from very good pressure. Tanalea Moa, as I said, is throwing these big looping passes because Canadian defence is in so tight. Here they are lined out to the left now. They're very deep, though. They've got a very deep set back line. So you can see it there. It's a perfect picture. They've got to be going for a target.
Well, Whanamurva at centre. Well, we'll never know. Good pressure from Tonga. Fairhurst did not want to put the ball in, and Jonathan Kaplan's free kick.
Oh, rightly so. You know, I have sympathy as a person that's been in that position before. When that scrum is moving from the minute that they hit and engage, you don't want to put it in. It's not, the scrum's not supposed to crab sideways. It's supposed to go backwards or forwards.
Well, that kick hasn't found touch. And now here is DTH Whanamurva at centre. Big, strong fellow. And Biden's, the man from Saskatoon in central Canada. He's fallen rather awkwardly and may have lost it. He has.
Just going to be important, isn't it, that Tonga get the opportunity to put the ball out in this first 40. They've got to get it out. They've got to get time to regroup. They're trying to go wide quite a bit early, Justin. I just think they just need to keep it a little bit closer to the big boys and do a bit of rumbling.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they didn't get an opportunity from that scrum. I agree, Matthew. They had the chance, and it looked the way they were set that they were going to go nice and tight.
Sure that your feet quicker than that.
They really haven't capitalised, Tony, on the chances they've had in the first 10 minutes of this game. Really, they've had some misfortunate decisions, I'll put it that way, and possibly some unlucky bounces.
Just waiting for Hubert Bidens to go back to join his forwards. They've obviously had a bit of a growing competition in that Canadian forward pack.
Kleberger's got that hands down, hasn't he?
Absolutely. There he is.
Oh, yes.
He's 27 years old. I think the beard might be a bit older than that.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Nicely off the back, Vahofalau. It's a good scrum from Tonga, and Marath up from fullback. McKenzie in there scrapping for the ball, and Funamurva, well, he did very well to try and pick that up, just couldn't quite stop it from going over the touchline.
On me.
Well, again, Tonga trying to run it. Nice work from McKenzie, the left winger. Into the line out it goes, and Tonga have it through Lokotui. Fatawhihi, they're going to have difficulty hanging on to him. Piutau now breaking into space. Offloads nicely to Vainikolo. Looks for someone to hand it off to, and the end takes it to ground. Now Moore stabbing the kick through. Pritchard goes across, sits up nicely for him. Now he needs a bit of support, and it's there.
Number two.
Fairhurst. Well, Munro will enjoy kicking with this breeze at his back. And Vahofalau not taking that cleanly. Hard chasing on a day like this because the ball's going to travel a long way. Pritchard gets it away to O'Toole, brushes off the first and the second. Beats Finau marker, loses it but behind. And punching onto it nicely is Munro. This is confident stuff from Canada. McKenzie goes to ground. Fairhurst comes away with it. And it's Cudmore charging on now. Chance to go wide. Funamurva wrapping around, and the ref says okay. He's into a hole. Chance for Canada. And Jeff Sinclair opens the scoring.
Oh, what a try.
That was a beauty.
Oh, it certainly was. That's putting it mildly, I think. They butchered it a couple of times where players had worked their way into space, particularly early with O'Toole. He had the opportunity to pass. He gets through this tackle. I thought now he needed to let it go. He had about 3 players outside. He tried to beat the last defender. However, it was on the ground. They picked it up well here and continued the movement. They, from here, generated nice quick ball. It was the bounce pass that sort of made the defence from a Tonga hold. And then it was absolutely superb work by Funamurva. Over the top pass. Here it looked like they'd butchered as well. But then the strength. Oh, Sinclair, over you go and throw it into the stand.
Well, Chauncey O'Toole, isn't it? The open side flanker for the Canucks. Outstanding break. He got a couple of big hits put on him from the Tongans. That was the problem. Too many big tackles going in with the shoulders, and they weren't holding on to them, putting him on the ground. And James Pritchard, good goal kicker too for the Canadian side. That's a great try to Jeb Sinclair.
Yeah, some nice link play there too from Ryan Smith in the middle. And Pritchard now got almost 400 points in Test rugby, this fellow. He's born in Australia, once played rugby league for the Parramatta Eels, now based in England, but plays for Canada. And that could be a bit of a problem today. You can see there the assistant just calling over one of the teammates. Might have to hang on to the ball here.
Just a sight of there, Tony, of this magnificent crowd on the bank here at Northland Events Stadium.
So James Pritchard with the attempted conversion. He's judged that nicely. No kick is going to be easy today in this blustery wind, but this is a great try. Whanamurva here.
Well, he did extremely well because, as I mentioned, the ball came to him on the bounce. What Tonga didn't do, though, was come forward, and that gave him the time. He just went lateral, broke the line. Great finish as well.
So it's Morath kicking up into the breeze, and it's the try scorer who takes it down. Tamalolo trying to hold him up. And already you can see a contrast in style and an intention here. Fairhurst puts it high. Helu coming in from the wing, but they leave it for Vaiomaunga, the open side flanker. Now Fatafihi. Good tackle made by Jason Marshall, the prop. Again, Philip McKenzie going in, looking for it at the breakdown, but Canada were offside, and, well, I wonder if Morath shot at goal into this breeze. Well, will be challenging.
Yeah, Matthew Cooper, I was watching, and I'll get your thoughts pre-game, and I was watching him kick. And this will be at the very utmost of his distance because of that breeze. He was coming up short. I'm sure he was more towards you towards the touchline, but you can only see he's 37-odd metres out, but I think it's going to be tough to get it there.
Well, he's just going to have to, Justin, the boy from Eastern Suburbs, going to have to keep it very low. That's the biggest problem. Is it's a very strong breeze, and depending how he lines this up, if he lines it up in the torpedo style, he's got a better chance if he lines it up a la Dan Carter. Well, we'll just have a look now as he places the ball. Now, that's okay, as long as he doesn't try and get under it too hot. If you keep it low, drift it round. But Tony Johnson, you are right, it has dropped from being a very windy Whangarei most of the day. Here he is, Kurt Morath, 147 points for Tonga.
Well, he's a very good goal kicker, this fellow. Within his capabilities, for sure. But he's got it away to the left.
Well, that's my theory gone. I'm pretty sure he got underneath it, though, pre-game.
He had a little bit of leg there,
did that go over the dead ball and over the hoardings at the back as well? Oh, that's why I've kicked so many goals in international rugby, that is.
So it's Canada still with that 7 points to 0 lead, playing with the strong wind here in Whangarei. And Munro kicking long down to Alapati Fatafihi. Huge man in the midfield. Good tackle made by Aaron Carpenter, the number 8. Now it's Taumalolo onto it. Piutau at centre, turns it back to Taumalolo, getting close to the touchline. Moore swings it wide again. Oh, good tackle made by Munro, coming up fast in midfield. Oh, Tonga favourites in many people's minds, but this Canadian team have made a good start to this game. They're going to get a penalty here.
Hands. 7.
Just showing flashes of their danger there in that movement, Justin.
They're making the advantage line way too easy. So we see the penalties and infringements there starting to mount it against the Canadians. They'll need to be better disciplined because they give this team chances, then it eventually is going to catch up to you. You're going to fatigue in defence. But at the moment, they're giving them lots of line breaks, lots of room, but they're actually shutting them down when they need to very well. Munro read that extremely well. He came up hard and fast, to the point that I thought he was going to sort of half have to pull out of it, but fair play, he went straight into it, made the tackle, and then there's an infringement at the breakdown. But holding strong at the moment, being impressed by Carpenter and his defence. But this is the big, long passes that Moa's throwing out, and he read it perfectly. He stayed committed, brings him down the finish, and well read.
It was Sione Vaiomaunga the flanker who was the target. Now this one, if anything, is just a little bit further out for Marath, but he must have felt that he wasn't far away with that first one. Well, this one he's pushed away to the right, so that's one each side. And the score remains 7-0 Canada.
So the last dropout, Canada went very, very long, but they exposed themselves. They didn't come up as a line. They're all lined out to the left here. They need to spread more evenly or they're going to get cut apart again.
Munro. And again, it's Fatafihi running it back and all snatching at it. Falau and Canada. Well, that's bonus possession for them. Now Canada are a little untidy, so they'll come back.
First infringement.
Sami Vahafalau, man who played in New Zealand for the Blues and the Highlanders. He's been playing for Béziers in France in the 2nd division. He was a punishing runner, but that time rather snatching at the pass.
Yeah, it was Fatafihi, though. He went the wrong way. As I said, as we see it here in this picture, the ball went down here into that left-hand corner. All the space as we look at it, out to the left or right, that far side of the field. Fatafihi needed to go out there. He really put Rainikolo in trouble. He didn't want that ball, I don't think, and it showed.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Biden's on the loose head side for Canada. Fairhurst, away it goes to Munro. Cut out pass to Whanamurva. Good spot tackle made on him. And good aggression from the Tongans. I think they've got it here. Piutau getting up very quickly on defence. So they have a turnover. Taumalolo. Bringing it away, Palu. And now Timani. Sure, his brother Sitaleki Timani will be watching with the Wallabies. Palu. Off it goes to Maka, the captain. Taumalolo. Defence around the fringe is going to be important for Canada because Coleman's so strong, so good at hitting the ball up. Timani. Now Palu looks to get it wide, and now Fatafihi pops it over the top for William Hill, who can't hang on to it. So frustration for Tonga. Getting the ball, getting opportunities, but the passes aren't sticking.
No, and it must be frustrating for them because the way that Canada are defending is very, very narrow, but they're not coming up quick. So by defending narrow, they're just going on the push. This is the turnover first, so it was good defence off the set piece. They were set quite narrow. From there, Piutau went up. And from here they created, so you can see there, it's so narrow, they've got nobody out there, but they push very hard to the touchline, and the Tongans are just trying to get it there too quick.
Well, DTH, Whanamurva, the centre for the Canadian side, Justin, came right off his line there. He didn't need to, it was already covered, so some real problems there in the midfield for Canada on defence, and Tonga have got to be good enough to expose them.
Pause. Engage. Head to head, number one. Number one, head to head. Head to head.
So that's the second penalty against Taumalolo at scrum time. And a long kick, good kick. Yes. From Ander Munro has pushed them deep into the 22.
I know he's got the win, but he had no angle whatsoever. He was inside the 5 to take that kick. That is genius. They need to capitalise on this. Obviously, they've got the win. 23 minutes in, they've got the lead. But any chance down here, they need to build pressure and get points.
Yes, the more they can make Tonga chase in the second half, when the Tongans will have the breeze, the more difficult it's going to be, the more pressure on them. Riordan finds Cudmore, and they move it quickly out into centre field where Aaron Carpenter's there. Now the switch of direction. Fairhurst away to Pritchard, up from fullback, getting close to the touchline. But Kleberg has done well to keep it in. Fairhurst. Off it goes to Munro. Loose ball, but snapped up by Carpenter. Tries to drop it off of Van der Merwe. They were offside. It'll be a penalty kick at goal right out in front for Canada.
12-12.
Well, we could see there the contrast in defence. The Canadians, as we've mentioned, are pretty lateral. They're happy to let the Tongans come at them. They're big men. They don't want to create a confrontation if they don't need to. There, the Tongans are coming up very quick. What's their line speed here? This is a good view of it. It's another bounce pass that creates the opportunity for an overlap, but they come up so quick. I'm not sure who that player is. Yeah, in fact, it's Pietau who actually shuts it off because they had numbers on the outside, the Canadians.
Yeah, a little bit risky, wasn't it? You have to make sure if you're going to come off your line, you've got to make sure you put the hit on. James Pritchard 1-from-1 this afternoon, but they just the danger was if they managed to get a slip that pass, there was about 4-on-2 for the Canadians, they would have been in the corner.
Absolutely.
So Pritchard from very handy to the post, no problem, and Canada lead by 10-0. Is a sea of red, a red letter day here in Whangarei with red the traditional colour of both teams. Massive local interest as well. And at the moment, it's Canada who are in front. Morath, that's a long, deep kick, hard to control. But Jeb Sinclair, the try scorer, has it for Canada. Fairhurst looking to kick. Floating it down, and Moore has it inside his own half. Morath swinging it across to Vanikolo. Off goes Fitu Vanikolo. Gets through the tackle of McKenzie, but then loses possession. Nice work done by the fullback, James Pritchard, for Canada. And another kick from Fairhurst. Moore, though he's misjudged that, and there's another big gain for Canada. Very awkward going back with the ball in the breeze like that.
And the sun, as you mentioned, he's got that big mopper here, slicked back, so he's got no shelter from it. Here's Vanikolo, so powerful, look at that. Just drops that inside hit, but it's well gathered, and here's the misjudge. He's just not got it in the wind, and that's good territory advantage, but he didn't touch it, which is a bonus.
I'm going to say, lucky he nearly did. Talkafa throws, and Lua Lokotui, former lock with Hawke's Bay in the New Zealand Championship, now in Japan. Moore gets it wide, and into a bit of space goes Pietau. They're rushing up very quickly, the Canadians, and it's getting them into a bit of trouble. Helu just losing his footing. And Canada getting numbers there to drive over it, and offside, Fatafehi. Well, they recovered that very well, Canada. They're darting up on defence, and they are leaving some big space.
Well, it's just they're so narrow. I can't understand, actually, why they didn't... To describe it out there for you people out there, basically as a backline, you work together, so you stay with the man who's inside you. You move up only when you can see him slightly ahead of you. They're just all disjointed and all over the place. They're opening up massive opportunities for the Tongans on the outside. Luckily for them at the moment, the Tongans just can't hold on to the ball.
So what Justin's saying, Ray, basically is that if they get a miss past them around that centre position, they're going to be away all the time. And this will be a fantastic angle to look at it. Look at the centre that just came straight in off his line there. And that's just created that huge overlap. That could happen all the time if they could execute the pass right.
Yeah, and Munro was defending at centre for some reason, and he came out all out of line. So not great defence. They got away with it, but they're going to have to be better disciplined or they'll find themselves being cut apart all day. Well,
they recovered well, but they don't want to be scrambling all afternoon. And now the ball's being picked off by Lokotui, who's showing out well in the lineouts. Palu has a look at the short side, but now I think the skipper wants to take over. Canadians, though, defending this close quarter stuff pretty well. Mucker again, Tamalolo. You can see the Canadians ready to get off the line quickly, try and stop the advance before it gets to the advantage line. Moa now swings away. Fatifihi. On it goes to Marath. Manikolo again in a bit of space. And he's going to have Mackenzie on. Turns it back in field. Whanamurva makes the tackle. And a little knock on in there. And that pass to Taniela Moa. He turned his head. I think the pass might have taken him right in the face.
Well, that was all to do with Whanamurva. His defence was great. This is the lost line out. It's a superb throw. The Tongans did very well to defend that and read it. From there, this is the attack. But watch Whanamurva. You can see him. He's the blonde-headed guy a second from the end. There's two blondies out there. But watch the work he does on the inside. He comes across, makes the tackle, and look at the nuisance he makes of himself at the breakdown. He's still in there. He fights, and that eventually creates all the mayhem for the Tongans that creates then the turnover.
They're very good, aren't they? There's the frustration there from Taniela Moa, the first five. They're very good in the breakdown, in the tackle, where the contact is made. The Canadians are going straight for the ball. Deliberate tactic, successful because they're getting the put-ins.
Well, there's a change had to be made here. I think it might be a blood bin. Pat Riordan, the captain of Canada, is off, and Ryan Hamilton, 16, to play his 5th test, the man from Edmonton.
I don't want you to go too far. Shoulder out.
Ah, yes, that's a blood bin.
Yeah, that warrants the ability to leave the field with a little bit of blood. They'll fix that up, though. He'll be out there pretty smartly.
Crouch.
Won't be the last blood spilled out here this evening either.
Well, it looks as though it could be the missed 2 on here, Justin. As though they're looking, could be direct to Whanamurva.
So Fairhurst to Munro. No, he puts it high. Mackenzie giving chase. Again, awkward for Tonga. And getting in each other's way a bit, but Barath comes away with it. Canada swarming through on Helu, who's tracked across from the far wing. To Mani. But they were offside around the fringes, Canada.
Short offsides. First 2.
It might well have been the replacement hooker. I suppose Tonga, after a solid performance in many respects against the All Blacks the opening night, might have been considered favourites by many people. But they have actually beaten Tonga the last 2 times they've played in World Cups. 87, that's a long time ago, admittedly. 37-4, big win for Canada.
This is the setup from the Canadians. They're very deep. Very deep. Look how far back the backs are. I wonder if they're afraid about the Tongans coming up to smash them.
Last time they played, Australia 2003, and Canada won 24-7. Tonga playing into the wind. Moa tries a change of tactics. It's a loose pass, so Munro tried to pick it up. He's lost it forward, and they'll come back for the scrum. Well, it's always an awkward one. And Justin, you've been in that situation, whether you try and pick it up or you try and hack it ahead or try and claim it.
It's always pretty loath to go for the toe hack. I think he was nice and low enough to the ground. It's possibly because he lost his footing that he wasn't able to quite execute the pickup completely, but the idea was right. I think he had to pick it up, but we've got some changes, obviously, for the Canadians again, Matthew.
Yeah, absolutely, Justin. Big change early. Doesn't look good. Chauncey O'Toole, the man who made the big break for the first try, number 7. He's off and been replaced by number 18, Tyler Hodson.
Let the match doctor check it.
I wonder if that's blood or... No.
He seemed to be stretching the leg. It could be hamstring or around the adductor area. Wasn't happy.
Well, now Sami Vahafalau is receiving a bit of a treatment too. Looks like he might have hurt his ankle.
It was a big call, wasn't it, for Tonga? They won the toss, and there's the ankle being strapped. They won the toss and gone into these elements, so still quite surprised, but only 10-0 down. We're over the half-hour mark, so they're hanging in there, the Tongans.
And it is still, it's a strong win, but you do get the feeling that it's dying just gradually.
Big numbers to the left here for Tonga. I'll be surprised if they don't go that way. They've got it. Four on 2 to the left.
Well, Fatafihi's out that way, and he's the guy that's been causing some problems. Moa, and here he is. Fatafihi wrap around from Moa, stabs a little kick through, but Pritchard, who looks a pretty useful fullback, this fellow. No, and they've got a penalty. Off the feet.
Off your feet.
Good refereeing.
Captain and 12.
The intent was there.
12 off your feet.
You can see what the Tongans are trying to do, and away go Canada.
Chance to move it quickly. Here's number 8, Carpenter. Funamurva now. He puts the kick ahead, and this is going to go way too far. Well, it's always going to be a risk kicking with this wind towards the goal line. DTH Funamurva. Daniel Tailifera Hauman Funamurva.
I think he thought he had Phil McKenzie, the left wing, the other blondie that was flying. The kick was too long anyway, but the intention was trying to put it away for Phil McKenzie.
Yeah, I think he should have held on to it, Matthew, don't you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. Ball in hand. I think they've got them when they start sprinting and using a bit of width, the Canadians. They just seem to be opening the Tongans up a little bit.
You do get the feeling the Canadians might be quite comfortable playing into the wind too. It's their ability to play it tight. Tonga would love a score before half-time. Moa. Piutau, always a threat. Well, they've lost it, no penalty.
Offsides. Offsides. Standing offside.
Well, Adam Kleberger, I think the turnover was won cleanly enough. Well, the ball spilt loose, but he was standing in front of the hindmost. There he is, the man born in Elk Point, Alberta.
Well, here's a real indication for you viewers out there about the severity, I guess, of the conditions as we watch this turnover, because the Tongans from here have opted for a midfield scrum. They don't even want to kick for touch. They're happy to take the scrum, just try and soak up the clock. And yeah, Kleberger was on the wrong side of the ruck, just getting in the way, but you can see here they've opted for the scrum rather than risk the line-out kick.
Crouch.
Tight head, man on this side for Tonga. Kisi Pulu plays for Perpignan in France. And their scrum is solid. Vahafalau away to Palu, and he runs well. Kleberger gets back though, makes the tackle. Vahafalau smuggles it away to Vaiolmaunga. Maka now charging it up. Taumalolo goes in to help out. Tamani now. Advantage Tonga. Taumalolo. Oh, nice work there from Ryan Smith going into contest possession, but they've got it away. Now it's being knocked away by Monroe, so they'll come back for the penalty.
I'll throw your hands up. We have short offsides and player killing the ball.
Well, here's the break from Palu. Kleberger did brilliantly well. He was outpaced from the scrum because it was such a solid scrum, as you mentioned, Tony.
Captain.
From there, he just dug in there and did very well. And this is where the penalty
short offsides close to the ruck.
happened.
Give you a chance to talk to your players. Failing which, we're going to look at alternative action.
I just stopped there. If you picked up Kaplan talking to the Canadian captain there, he said that a lot of their penalties are coming from close to the ruck where they're being offside, so they're trying to be a nuisance, but you've got to stay onside to do that. They're on a warning. Yeah,
and Monroe, the Canadian number 10, he's the deputy at the moment as they...
Time on.
Are they going to point for the post or they're going to go for the line out? Here they are. The Tongans want to get over. They want a 5-pointer before half-time.
Line-out's going to take place just inside the 22. Also, Kaplan had a word with Jamie Cudmore. He showed a bit of frustration towards the referee, which Jonathan Kaplan doesn't want to see. Vahafalau wins it. Tamani on the 22. So Tonga get a chance to get points on the board before half-time here in Whangarei. Maka. Canadian defence has been pretty good. But there are threats out wide. Taumalolo. Tulu, the prop waiting for it. Here he is. Now Moa trying to get through Kleberger. Can't. Flanker makes the tackle. Still on the 22. So Canada have stood their ground. Tamani has a go. This is good defence, and they're meeting force with force, Canada. Now Piutau looks to get it wide. Vanikolo. Tonga building nicely now. Vahafalau waits. In fact, it's Taukapa, the hooker. Just gets a little isolated, but the ball's there. Now Vanikolo moves it on Tamalolo. Try to hold him up as Hearn, the right winger. Now Moa. He's had a couple of goes now. And Vahafalau finds a little bit of space through the middle.
Onside.
Maka over it well. They were able to force their way over the line against the All Blacks the other night, and looks like they're going to try and do the same here. Tamani stands off, but he's hit hard in the tackle by Cudmore. This is great defence from Canada. Can they continue to hold out? Tamalolo. Canada fighting to keep this up off the ground. Eventually comes through Tamani. This is inspired stuff from the Canadians. But Vanikolo always slipped. Now he's fallen awkwardly, but he's got it back on the Tongan side to Moa. Now they look to swing it wide. Piutau! Siali Piutau scores for Tonga. What a great moment to strike just before the break.
Very good patience from the Tongans. They were facing some resilient, aggressive defence from Canada. However, all they needed to do was just be patient, Tonga. 19 phases they held onto that ball for. Even when they're getting smacked backwards, they showed the patience to be able to just hold onto the ball, nice and composed. Here's some of the very good D that they were faced with. It was just aggressive, over the top. The Canadians were coming at them. From there, though, they created the overlap. This is a good pass from Tanalea Moa. And Piutau goes in, and they get rewarded for all their hard work and composure, the Tongans.
Well, Justin Marshall, doesn't it help when you've got two halfbacks playing in the beautiful long Taniana Moa pass. He's wearing the 10 jersey today, and the Highlander, the man who plays for the Highlanders, Siali Piutau, gives Kurt Marath the opportunity for a 7-pointer.
Well, this is a great boost to Tongan hopes, because they know they're going to turn with the wind. Conversion is good. And at half-time, it's Canada leading Tonga by 10 points to 7.
Well, a half dominated by Canada. They'll feel aggrieved to go in at half-time, now only 3 points ahead, having had the wind. However, they've shown enough in this game that they have the required attacking skills to stay in this game, and perhaps it's going to be a close one. Looking forward to all the play that we've got coming up.
So 1 try apiece in the first half. Jeb Sinclair scored first for Canada. Pritchard a conversion and a penalty. And Piutau striking back after a concerted build-up just before the break. And the conversion by Kurt Marath. It's tight at half-time in Whangarei. It's Canada 10, Tonga 7. So Jonathan Kaplan says, let's get going. Second half here in Whangarei. Canada now will have to play into the wind with just a 3-point lead. Looks like that's going to be a permanent change at hooker too, as the Canadians kick down over halfway, taken by Morath, and he will bang it high. No great chase though from the Tongans. Whanamurva, well, doesn't want to get himself into trouble here. That's been carted back into the 22. Fatefihi will wind up and have a go. 2 front rowers waiting for a Marshall. And looks like Riordan is back out on the field.
You know, he's all back. He's all strapped up and around the head. So Riordan back on the captain.
Out. Let's go!
Quick throw taken by Vahafalau. Now it's the halfback, Palu. 10-metre mark and ripped away by Kleberger, but didn't release.
Tackle assist.
So he was the second tackler, and just like the principal tackler, he has to let it go, or let the tackle player go, before he can play the ball.
Yeah, but I agree. But if the tackled player is on the ground, then he doesn't have to let him go, does he? So it's only if he got him before he hit the deck. Let's have a look. So here's Palu. Yeah, absolutely right. He is. Yep, you're bang on. Even though he's probably legitimately got it, he didn't release.
Yeah, he put him to ground, and without clearing his hands, he went for the ball.
Well, Kurt Marath gave a wink to his captain straight away, said, I'm lining this up. He'd be looking forward to the second half. He's going to have to push it, Justin, a little bit to the right here, because it is going across his right shoulder. But he's got a lot of he's got the elements right behind him now, so he'll be looking forward to this.
I think the bizarre thing is, never saw him practice with the wind when he was warming up, so this will be a bit new for him.
Let's see how confident he is.
A chance to level the scores now, very early in the second half. Kurt Moran. And he has got it. That's 150 test points for Kurt Moran, the man who was raised in the Waikato here in New Zealand, played for the King Country province, but now is based out of Sydney, where he plays for Easts, and he is a very good goal kicker. Switches to fullback for this game. Missed a couple early, but now he's got Tonga on level terms. Canada getting up to dispute possession from the kickoff, and they've got it back. So well done. Now Smith has a charge at them, spinning out of the tackles. Ryan Smith, man who plays for Montauban in France, and they've got the advantage here too as Munro has a little snipe. He looks useful. Carried on by the skipper. So Canada, having just lost the lead, look to regain it. They'll come back for the penalty. There was a bit of obstruction there, so no advantage. Well, he's in everything, this fellow, isn't he, Adam Kleberger?
Yeah, he looks a good, handy player, doesn't he?
Well, he's played a bit of sevens, so he's got some skills. He's got a bit of speed. But, man, how's that for facial hair?
he's got a decent beard, hasn't he?
Some would say he's got it all.
Well, the formula's pretty simple for Tonga, isn't it? Just take the ball. You've got the wind behind you. They didn't that time. And it was a high shot, or it was an armless tackle was the call, I think, from referee Kaplan from Tani Alamoa. And here's the opportunity for James Pritchard. He got 36 points once against the USA in 2006. So he's a pretty handy goal kicker.
He's just had a record-breaking season with the Bedford club in England. .403 points he kicked in the season. Well, it's a lot of points. And now a chance to put Canada back in front. And he's not going to miss from there. It's 13-10. So the Canadians will restart. Sorry, the Tongans will restart. Canadians taking over the lead 13-10, having just lost it. And Carpenter, he's not the biggest man for a number 8. He's not frightened to throw himself around. And Van der Merwe bumps off the tackle, throws a loose pass, but they've picked it up, and here's Kleberger again. Runs into a bit of a hole and offloads nicely for Van der Merwe. He's lost it, though. Well, they're away, and the crowd are getting very excited, but they'll have to come back. But that was promising.
Very promising. Kleberger again, but it's Van der Merwe. He's creating havoc out there. They are coming up on him quite hard, but he must be strong up top because he's bumping them off quite easily. Here he is with the out-the-back pass. I know it's bounced, but it still clears the space. Kleberger does very well to come back infield. Van der Merwe, this is a positive area. He had player there, Pritchard, unmarked outside him. It was only in the tackle as he was looking to pass that the ball got dislodged.
You mentioned Kleberger, haven't you, a couple of times, guys? Gee, he's starting to stand out, the Canadian blindside flanker.
Again, Munro defending at centre for Canada, so either that's a tactical decision to move him out there because he's a very good tackler, but I'm certainly hoping they're not hiding him there.
Yes, you can see the man fielding, standing in the inside channel is Ryan Smith, then Funnemerva, and then Ander Munro.
It's most probably Alepati Fatafi'i, isn't he? The big second five for Tonga. If he's going to be drifting, he was going to be drifting onto one of the biggest guys on the field. Well,
you can see Fatafi'i there. He stands out. He stands out.
Pause.
Palu away to Moore, and here is Fatafi'i trying to slice through. Oh, lovely offload away to left winger William Helu. And here comes Tonga, Timani. Fatafi'i has provided a real threat in midfield by Umaunga. The flanker, now Takafa. Tongan fans making a big racket as their team come forward. Timani. Talu looks both ways, and there's some big men away to his right. But again, Canada showing the ability to stand firm on defence. Vahafalau trying to vault them, and Canada sense maybe a chance to turn this over here. They have. Oh, nicely done again from the Canadians. Oh, they might even move this away. No. Munro, in fact, it was the halfback Fairhurst.
Well, we've just worked out why Ander Munro, the Canadian number 10, is defending at centre.
Yes.
We've figured that one out, but disappointing there. I think it was Fahafalau, the number 8, that jumped over the top, Justin, got isolated.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't the right decision. He got isolated, and it was a great counteract from Canada. However, they haven't been able to benefit from that. They're still stuck well inside their 22.
There's the skipper, Finau Maka, playing 3rd division rugby in France these days. And all nicely done by Cudmore for Canada. But Tonga have got it. No, they've spilt it. Canada come away with it. Now a run from Biden's, the loose head prop. And coming through, Palu knocks it away, offside.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about the fact that he knocked it away, Tony.
Well, that wasn't what he was penalised for, so you can't.
That's right, but the reason that he had to do it was because they had numbers. If he doesn't come through here and do that, they had a 3-on-2, did Canada. They worked and manipulated that very well, and they pulled Palu out of line. So they are getting their opportunities, Canada. At the moment, they're just not taking enough of them.
Just hold him, shoot. Hold him.
No, in saying that, they've got the lead.
They're defending well, and that was a very good counter ruck. Just picking the moment.
And a change too, Tony. Viliami Mafu, number 19. He's going to come on for Vahafalau, the number 8 for Tonga.
He's going to come on.
And there's the rather battered sight of Pat Riordan, the skipper. Went off, streaming blood in the first half. And he's not going to miss out on that opportunity.
Good, aren't they? They've been very tough tonight, the Canadians, on defence. They're not holding back. They've come here to play. They've been waiting for a while too, Justin, so they're pretty pleased to be out here.
It's their front-on tackling that's impressed me. When they're on the drift a little bit and make side-on tackles, not so effective, but when they go forward and tackle the player front-on, they're very aggressive. They hit them well.
Kleberger wins the line out. Carpenter, and running strongly again, getting more and more prominent. Now they switch it away to the left. Off it goes to fullback. Pritchard puts the kick through. Stumbling as he went after it. Mackenzie's made chase, and now it's Vainikolo who kicks deep. They've got numbers back there, and one of them is Funnemerva. Senses a chance to run it back. I tell you, he's a strong fellow, this. Busting through the tackles. Fairhurst, away it goes, quick hands. This is good play from Canada. Pritchard, the fullback, taken down. Munro again. This time, though, Sinclair can't hang on to it, and Tonga get the chance to bring it away. Whakawhihi, having to wait for the pass, was Helu, the winger. He puts the kick ahead. He could get to this first. It could be big trouble, but coming across from the far wing, Phil McKenzie has put it into touch.
McKenzie did superbly well there. He came off his far wing to save that situation for Canada. This is the first kick. Pritchard is the one they worked the move very well here.
Oh, boy. Now, that's a foot trip.
Let's
watch
have a look.
this. This is a deliberate foot trip here, and Jonathan Kaplan and his assistants have missed that.
They have.
He is very lucky to still be on the field.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not sure who it was, but Pulley has come off, the tight head prop, and replaced by Ulukai.
Well, the interesting thing about that was that Jonathan Kaplan saw it and he said play on, so he didn't think there was anything malicious, and of course he doesn't get a replay. Tonga have it. Chance to attack. But again, Canada coming up to try and trap them behind the advantage line. Alika it was carrying it up that time. Moa, nice ball back in field. Piutau gets a second. And Tonga are in front.
Well, you'd have to say that it's a superb try. Canada, from their perspective, don't have to be disappointed they even found themselves down this part of the field. After what we thought was a foot trip, it cost them the territory from there. They built again, were nice and patient. Moa drifts across, Piutau comes short, nobody there, and they go.
Oh, lovely finish, wasn't it? He just got on the inside of Biden's, and fast man on a slow man. He was always over. He's a good mover, this guy, and that's a very good try, number 2. Look at the excitement in Taniela Moa's face.
Well, he spotted a couple of forwards and he just sliced through them. I think one of the props and Sinclair, the lock, was standing there on defence.
Yeah, and Biden's it was too. Hubert Biden's, the loose head prop.
So Tonga take the lead, and Morath has a chance to make it 17-13. He does. Siali Piutau, I said before, he's having a tremendous year. Nicely set up, and he's just got such good penetration.
Nice pass from Moa. He disguised the ball by just holding it on his hip. Caught the inside defender out.
So what can Canada do to answer this time? Well, that's nice work from the restart by Jason Marshall. Well, Fairhurst rather dallied a bit getting the ball away, and now Canada have turned it over until Kappa, the hooker, has booted it deep. Kleberger going back. Can't take it cleanly, but they've got numbers back in support, and Ryan Smith is there. He's looked good. Few chances he's had to have a run at them. Now the switcher play, Funamurva, well, dodges the flying tackle of Taumalolo, and off he goes upfield. This game really starting to open up now. Fairhurst, nice quick ball for the Canadians. Carpenter still going, offloading, and now the Tongans have got it back.
If that pass had gone to Munro instead of Jason Marshall, I think they were going to get well in behind the Tongan defence there. Again, they are finding space, Canada, and there's no need to panic. There's plenty of time on the clock.
I wouldn't underestimate, especially a name like Marshall, but Jason Marshall, believe it or not, he's playing prop in this game, but he used to play American football. And, well, I'll see if you can guess. What position do you think he would have played?
Yep, good to go. Good to go.
Running back?
No, quarterback.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I thought when you said underestimate that he might have some wheels.
Yeah, he was
too solid to be a receiver.
He was a quarterback, and now he's a prop.
Touch.
That's quite a change.
Yes.
Ma'afu off the back, hooked infield, the kick from Palu, and it's an awkward one. Coming back as Pritchard gets away from the first. Oh, now he's been tipped up. Kaplan says it's okay. And the Tongans arrive in numbers, and they've got the feed to the scrum.
Some lovely passage of play from Thomas Palu, the Tongan number 9, Justin. He's just starting to really get into his game.
Yeah, it was well worked off the base of that scrum, wasn't it? Palu was the man who benefited. This is the end of it. Pritchard here, he does well, then he goes for the big goosey, and that's an illegal tackle for me. You cannot lift the player's legs above his hips. Jonathan Kaplan, what are you doing out there? Canada, they're not getting frustrated, to their credit, but they've had some rough ones against them in the last 5 minutes, and they're proving very costly. Hopefully for them, this one isn't too costly, but that was a penalty for me. Legs above the hips is a no-no.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Right up.
Tonga have it. Ma'afu, he's thrown it away to Kleberger. Nice anticipation, but Tonga might have got this one back. Referee playing advantage anyway. So some good work, but it's undone. Just couldn't find a player with his offload, and now Taumalolo burrows ahead. Palu calling them to the short side. Takafa is waiting. They go though to Lokotui.
Short offside.
Now Taumalolo. Well, he's playing advantage here. Tonga can have a crack, as they know they can come back to a penalty. Moa stabbing a little kick through. That's going to go too far. Whoa! Oh boy! Now Fatafihi.
Look what he's done to the sign.
Doesn't look like he's hurt himself too much.
Don't worry about him. He's all right. I'm worried about the sign.
It's an unfair contest, isn't it?
It is. You heard that noise from up here. It was the right option from Moa. Nobody there. You can see it was only Fatafihi that was there. And the hoardings.
Maybe it did hurt just a bit.
As the rain sweeps in, you might be able to start to pick it up now on your TV screens. It just started halfway through that movement. It's hard to see from that shot. You can just see it up in that top right-hand corner. The rain sweeping down. That won't help Canada at all.
Well, it's by the look of it, just looking away to the west where the weather's coming from. It's just a shower. I don't think it's going to be around for too long. Let's hope not. This has been a very good contest, and we've still got 22 minutes to play, but it's Tonga leading Canada by 17-13.
And showing their intent.
They are on the right side of the field, aren't they? They're using the ball well. Now this little boy's key, or halfback, he's just keeping it plugged in behind them. A couple of things have gone well for Tonga in the last 10 minutes, hasn't it? But they're playing at the right end.
And showing their intent as well with this formation they've got, Matthew. Very interesting. Moa is deep, so it looks like Fatafihi's going to possibly get the ball, but it could be a behind pass.
Just keep an eye on Hurlu as well. William Hurlu, he's a very quick winger. There he is, just behind Taniana Moa. A big winger. Might be an in-pass.
Ma'afu comes away with it. Vili Ma'afu. Kleberger makes the tackle. Canada drive in. And they get a penalty. Well, that is brilliant defence from the Canadians.
Go on, Kleberger, you can tackle. He's shown today that not only can he tackle, he's got the ability to run with the ball, but he's got a big old heart pumping away in that chest of his.
Carried on playing it.
You said you called me for not being behind the last one.
Just there you go.
Sorry. It was me not behind the last foot.
There was a few players last line.
So Kleberger there, he's just asking Kaplan if it was him that was offside from the ruck. Kaplan said there was a few. This is Kleberger, look at him.
Well, that's Vili Ma'afu, and anyone who's seen him play knows that he is a very strong runner, and he stopped him dead.
He did. He might have did a little bit of wriggling around that helped dislodge the ball there, but hey, they've had some bad ones lately, so let it go.
Well, now he's just about had his head taken off by the throw. But they've got it. Getting pretty willing in there as Fairhurst drifts the kick down the middle of the park. It's not a great kick because Tonga have good field position central and a great angle to plug the corner. That's a very intelligent kick from Kurt Morath, and they will force a line out deep inside the Canadian 22.
Yeah, they're building the pressure, aren't they? This is the tactical kick that goes in behind, so they're just starting to get some time down inside the 22 and really start to look more for tries now, Tonga. They're feeling very confident, obviously.
Well, they can't use it ball in hand at the moment. They can't get through that defence, and so that's the issue for them.
Well, Canada go long from the line out, and they go pretty well. Carpenter. That's Jason Marshall, the nickname Meat, the prop. And Tonga flying up on defence, and not a lot Pritchard could really do with that. And again, it'll be a line out, but inside the 22.
Don't get discouraged. Canada have shown enough, as I've mentioned, on attack to still be able to win this game. They just need to absorb this energy. The tempo now is with Tonga. They need to not leak points, just back their very resilient defence.
Tonga playing in the right part of the field, and they have so many attacking threats, but that one was not straight. Kalamafoni in 20 was the man who went up. Talcopper these days he plays in Lyon in France, and his 9th Rugby World Cup game today. That's a record for a Tongan. So a nice moment for Ephraim Talcopper. So Tamani goes off, but they've replaced one big man with another.
That shot there, you can see the centres and Moa up nice and flat. They're going to rush Canada and try and force them into a mistake.
Back on the arm. Yes, on the arm.
Well, the scrum went down. He thought about it, and then he blew.
Tight head binding on the arm. Got a bind.
Canadians might be starting to feel they're not getting a lot of love from Jonathan Kaplan out there at the moment.
Well, I'm wondering if he got that call from Steve Walsh or somebody, because he hesitated, didn't he? He looked like he was thinking about it and then thought, yes, that is a penalty.
Let's have a look. You're not allowed to bind on the arm, and that's exactly what he's done.
Yep, he's obviously got it from Walsh.
It's a very technical thing, but when you bind on the arm, it means the other player can't get any sort of grip, and that's why scrums go down, and that's why they're penalising. They've been told to penalise it. It's one of the things they're focusing on, because we don't want a World Cup full of reset scrums.
Here, here.
I could also say we don't want a World Cup full of halfbacks putting the ball under the hooker's feet, Justin, but that might be buying an argument.
Such a fallacy there. That's right.
So Kurt Morath, now this is an opportunity for Tonga to take a 7-point lead, and that would be very valuable in a tight game. And he has got it. That's another good kick from Kurt Morath. He is a very good goal kicker, and it's Tonga 20, Canada 13.
A couple of changes too, isn't there? Te'akafa's come off. The Tongan hooker being replaced by 16, Moase. There he is. And also number 20 on for Canada, and Connor Trainer.
Well, Phil McKenzie's got up after that. And Canada have it.
7 more.
Got to keep it going forward now too, because it's up off the ground. Now it's on the deck.
Shepherd.
Another penalty goes against Canada.
Again. honestly,
Shepherd.
I understand that, Jonathan,
Play
but
offside, Shepherd.
he's not done it intentionally. If it's obstruction like that, then it's just it just warrants a turnover, a scrum. It's not a penalty offence, I don't believe. I think they're feeling, as you mentioned, not a lot of love at the moment. He's got his head down and he's non-intentionally bumped into the back of his own player. He hasn't used him as a shield. Here we go. So the maul goes down. It's hit hard by the Tongans. From here they pick up, and that's just... I'm going...
Very, very technical, isn't it? I mean, that's... I'm on your camp there, Justin.
Well, it's all good news for Tonga. They lead by 20 to 13. 15 minutes to play. Looking for their first World Cup win over Canada. And here's Billy Maher for Kleberger, makes the tackle.
Doesn't miss Kleberger.
Well, Finau Marcus missed that one. Now what can the Canadians do? Sinclair, the man who scored that first half try. Fairhurst. Cudmore offloads and McKenzie comes in looking for a bit of work. Hodson. Some real force going in from the Canadians on defence, but Carpenter makes another good run down to the 22. Arm out from Jonathan Kaplan. The Canadians keep it coming. Trainer. Off it goes to Marshall. Now Biden's to the 22. Now Monroe moves it on. Trainer smashes through the first two tacklers. And the advantage is over, so Canada have to make it count now. Getting close! Over! Carpenter!
Outstanding.
Well, reminiscent of that very good try that Tonga scored towards the end of the first half into the win. That's a beauty from Canada, and Aaron Carpenter has scored, and they've got a chance to square it up.
This is the turnover that it came from. From here, the Canadians built the pressure. They shifted the ball onto Trainer. Look at this brute. Through he goes, leaving them in his wake. From there, the ball is nice and quick. Look at that power. Boomfa, boomfa, through he goes. They're not easy to get through those red jerseys. From here, Carpenter, he's been absolutely outstanding tonight. He deserves that, and so does that team.
Oh, Connor Trainer, what a substitution from Kieran Crowley, the Canadian coach. He's come in to replace a very good player in Ryan Smith. And at the end result is the Aaron Carpenter try. What a crucial try. And it was just a turnover, wasn't it, from the captain of Tonga. And the Canadians are back.
Well, this to tie it up for James Pritchard. Can he do it for Canada? He cannot. Tonga still lead 20 to 18.
That's the finish, not easy. He had to do some hard work prior to getting to the line and then reach out with possibly a slippery ball just to finish it off. Carpenter, superb. An excellent back row tonight for the Canadians, and they're back in this. Plenty of drama still to come.
So 12 minutes to play. It's anyone's, but it's Tonga in front. And they have the win. But Carpenter is playing an inspired game for Canada. Hamilton, the replacement hooker, on for the skipper. And Canada will get a scrum feed.
Good steal.
Gee, they're falling
Canada
off the
going
tackles,
forward.
Justin, aren't they? The Tongans are starting to fall off the hard, direct running
Good steal.
from the big
They were
men.
going forward.
And it's where they're at their best. Canada, they keep it tight as we saw. But they've been strong in the tackle, haven't they, tonight? All night, Fundermerva, we've seen broken tackles. Carpenter's made great yards. Kleberger, all of them seem to have been able to brush the Tongans, who are going high. They don't go low often, the Tongans. At the moment, the Canadians' upper body strength is doing them good.
Well, can Tonga hold out? Can this big, big crowd that is here and their support ride them home? to their first ever World Cup win over Canada.
At the back.
Well, this time it's a free kick from the scrum to the Canadians. They've got a bit of a way on here, and here comes Kleberger. What a mighty game he has had. Desperately hanging on to it. Mafu was trying to rip the ball off him. An arm goes out again from Kaplan, and now the Canadians are
20.
getting a few penalties.
And side entry.
No, they've got the momentum, Tony.
Kalamafone, I think it was, that came in from the side there, but they've got the ascendancy at the moment. They are confident with ball in hand. They just need to back their game plan, don't they?
This is getting tough for Tonga. You remember that they played the opening match on Friday night. It's very difficult. Just a 5-game turnaround. Change being made. The veteran.
Absolutely. Toafo, number 22, Alaska Toafo. He's come on now, and he's replacing number 10, or sorry, number 9, Thomas Palu. So I think you'll see Taniana Mola go into halfback, and it looks as though they've got Kurt Marath come up to 5'8".
Canada go to the line out, and the veteran Jamie Cudmore wins it. Oh, Canada have got a bit of a head of steam up here. And they're driving them back, and the arms out again from Jonathan Kaplan.
Oh, here they go.
They're well set.
This is a good driving maul. Rolling it up towards the 22. Now the Tongans slow them. They'll come back for the penalty.
I reckon he might get there, Justin. He may have the distance here.
Oh, it's a big call, Matthew Cooper. It's right into the teeth of that breeze, isn't it? And I'm putting it, I will retract that comment, into the teeth of the wind.
Into the wind. No, you got it right. Too far. Looking at that last drive, Tony and Justin, it's most probably a better way. May see if they can take the ball and drive again.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable that that's what they're going to go for. They've been successful with the drive tonight.
It's been a hard match, but played in a fantastic spirit. And now Canada have it. Once again, they go to 33-year-old Jamie Cudmore, the veteran who's returned to the Canadian side for this World Cup. And Tonga battling to hold on to this lead that they've worked so hard to get. They're about 12 metres from the goal line. Now it goes to ground. Carpenter peels off. Puts his head down. Just need to be patient, and Tonga need to be disciplined. And the penalty advantage has gone to Canada. They've got a man down on the ground out of play at the moment. Well, they've got a chance to bring it out into centre field position for maybe even a drop goal. Here's Munro having a go. Has his legs taken out from underneath. There's a try to Phil McKenzie, and Canada in front.
Well, Canada are there. How did they get there? McKenzie appeared from nowhere. He's hard not to miss with that blonde hair and the lights. However, they have gone through the Tongan defence to the Canadians. They had a man down. They had no intent in going wide. All their players are in nice and close. Let's see how this eventuates. Good patient build-up. There you can see him there, the blonde locks. Let's keep an eye on him. The break from Munro. He's coming in now. McKenzie stuffs it up. No one there. Over.
Oh, well, they say, oh, Canada, and that's what they'll be saying now. What a comeback from the Canadians. And that is a wonderful try. And he is a try scorer, this boy.
Yeah, that's his 10th try. Sorry, his 3rd try, I beg your pardon, in his 10th test. And none remotely as important as that one. Canada in front, 23-20. We're inside the last 10 minutes. Well, Pritchard will take his time over this one. Tonga just making the mistake of not guarding the fringes at all. McKenzie's been looking for work all night, and it's paid off with that try. Can he convert? Yes, he can. It's 25-20.
Some urgency now. This is the finish, but we're ready to go again. The Tongans, they know they haven't got much time left.
And the big boy's on too, Justin. Number 17, Sione Tongahuia. He's come on for Sona Tamalolo.
Well, the Tongans have been such a talking point in this tournament. They've got the most unbelievable support. But can they ride it home? They've got to come from behind now.
So the more than capable Tonga, they just need to be patient. They've got the attacking weapons to win this game.
Well, Morath needs to get this kick-off in the right place. Give his team a chance to challenge. He's pushed it quite deep. And Carpenter, who's had a mighty game at number 8, takes it ahead. Just over 5 minutes to play. Scott Franklin, another man from the plains of Saskatoon. Boy, what a boost this would be for the Canadians. What a great start for their tournament. The Tongans, they came here with so much optimism, and they've still got a chance, but at the moment they've got to get the ball off Canada. And Hubert Bidens is not going to let them have it. Although it's been ripped away now by the veteran Alaska Taufar, so Tonga do get a chance. Moa fires it wide.
Advantage over!
Moa now playing halfback, directing traffic. Oh, they've lost it. And it was Taufar who lost it. And it's brought away now by Nanyak Dala, the man born in Nigeria, now playing for Canada. Franklin. Now come back.
Oh, Tonga. As I mentioned just before that kickoff, they were going to get their opportunities. When they got them, they just needed to be patient. Unfortunately, they shelled the ball just when they didn't need to. This is the good work from the turnover, Tony.
Yeah, that's 38-year-old Alaska Taufar, who has played a lot of rugby in New Zealand. He actually played sevens for Japan, but now here he is playing for Tonga.
Well, there's hope for a commentator, isn't there, in Justin Marshall? But how good is Aaron Carpenter being, and also Adam Kleberger? Those two loose forwards, Justin Marshall.
Well,
yeah, they have. They've been superb. On a night, there's Kleberger there.
And it was a toss-up between Kleberger and Carpenter for man of the match. It's gone to Adam Kleberger.
Van der Merwe, a worthy mention as well. He's been strong too, hasn't he? But Kleberger.
Yes, and Siali Piutau, of course, for Tonga.
The scrum is inside. The scrum is inside.
Of course, the man of the match has to be named before the match is over, and still this match could go either way.
Yes. So much better receiving man of the match awards. As Matthew Cooper will tell you, when you're on the winning team, it feels so much better.
How would he know?
So we wish him luck.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
And it goes. Carpenter off the back. And Canada, well, the ball hasn't gone out. And here's Iongi charging into midfield to try and set it up for Tonga. Arm goes out. 4 minutes to play here in Northland. A thriller. Morath chips into a bit of a hole. Going back Van der Merwe. They'll come back for the penalty. And Tonga will put it into the corner.
There's actually plenty of time, Tonga. You don't need to panic. You've got the penalty. Put it down in the corner.
That's right. Conversely, neither did Canada. Fairhurst, for me, that scrum was set inside the 22. 8-9. He just needed to kick it into touch, get reset. The best time to defend, I can assure you, is when you're on your set piece, when it's not disjointed, you're all in the positions that you train at. From there, you can get your defence set. Instead, he grubbed it along the ground and has given Tonga this opportunity.
Well, the Tongans have it. And referee Jonathan Catlin says you've got to use it. They've got to use it, and away comes the skipper, Marco Tonga's defence has been pretty good. Now it's about to be challenged again. Tonga. That's the 22. Huged in here as Lukatui takes it forward. More. Well, they're going to keep trying to head it up, get themselves into position to strike, but Tonga-Uia's gone in upright. They've held him up. If he can't get this down, it's a turnover.
They've got him up.
It's a collapsed maul, and it's a turnover. It's Tonga ball. How important was that? He just went in too high, did big Soani Tonga-Uia.
Oh, I think he just fought too much. Tonga-Uia, he had the opportunity, he went down on one knee. You watch him here, so he gets hit up high, yes. Now he's in trouble here, he's starting to fight, he's in a bit of trouble. Now you watch, he'll drop to one knee there. That's where he needed to go to ground. Instead he tried to re-stand and go forward. I think if he had gone to ground there, they would have got that ball back. They still got time. This is where this ball, for me, needs to go. Taken from the number 8. Keep inside your 22. Stay inside there until you can finally kick it out on the full.
Well, Tonga looking for just their 5th win in World Cup rugby. Canada, their 7th. Canada in front, 25-20. It's been a very good game, and Tonga trying to put the pressure on, trying to screw the scrum. It went down in a heap. Canada have to be careful. Inside the last minute now.
Great, Rick. This is great, isn't it?
Oh, what a game. What a game. Match 10 of the Rugby World Cup.
Time out. Time out.
Time off. I think there might be a bit of blood needing attended to.
Oh, what a 46 seconds for Tonga. You know, they are still well in this pool, but again, so are Canada. They're playing themselves into this pool.
I think you're right before too, Justin. They've just got to try and be patient, do a few phases, Tonga. And if they can get the ability to get one-on-one runners, those really sharp backs, gee, they could go in.
Well, it's Jamie Cudmore who's receiving attention, the 33-year-old. He played in the 2007 World Cup, but for various reasons, he hasn't played a lot for Canada. Kieran Crowley was delighted when he was available for this tournament, and he's won a crucial line-out ball, and he's done some excellent work in the engine room today. You can understand why Kieran Crowley was so pleased to have him back. Now they need a big scrum. So too, of course, to Tonga.
Pause.
Taken off the back by Carpenter, one of the best players on the field today. Canada will just look to tie this up and ride the game out. Got to be careful not to give away a penalty for sealing off their own ball. Nanya Dalla in the back, and he's going to help our man of the match, Adam Kleberger, out here.
They've got it.
Time just about out. They'll put it into touch. Canada wins. Massive disappointment for Tonga and this huge contingent of support, but what delight for the Canadians, Justin Marshall.
And they deserve it as well. They worked very hard. They stayed in this game. You have to feel despondent and sorry, and you can just see by the body language. That's Piatal, who did everything he possibly could tonight. He was superb. We hardly called Vainikolo in the second half. They just didn't get the ball enough to the right line breakers in the Tongan team. But this is the picture we want to see. The Canadians, their first hit out of the tournament has proved successful, a deserved victory for them. What a start, what a game, what a fantastic occasion.
Well, it was a wonderful, wonderful contest, this, between two very evenly matched teams. But in the end, it's Canada who win it 25-20.